Boxing Nation.
The following program may contain language of an adult nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of alltalkradio.net.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to!
Hey yo, check this out, this is Flavor Flav, and if you want the whole truth, and nothing but the whole truth, so help the whole truth. Hey yo, you better listen to Dante, baby. Dante!
What's going on, guys, and welcome to another great edition of the Dante's Boxing Nation show. I am your host, Dante, and we back, man, we back. I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone who celebrate these holidays. You know, I'm just glad we back. I know you guys been asking, you know, when's the show coming back? We had to take that week off because the owner of the studio, he takes that week off. So now we back, guys. Now we have a lot to talk about, and it's a short little time because I did get in late today. I was coming from the Floyd Mayweather gym. I was slinging my shirts and everything and taking care of business. A lot of cats picked up the shirts, and I want to let y'all know once again, man, you guys can support, you know, either two different ways. You could either donate or you could just support by buying a shirt, man. Go ahead to nationboxing.com, buy yourself a shirt, you know, and show some love, man. They going pretty quick. I just got a new batch in, all right? Now, someone also said that they was having a little bit of a problem with the shipping, so I don't know if that was just him having a problem, but if you do have a problem, go ahead and send me an email at Dante562 at gmail.com or Dante's Boxing Nation at gmail.com, and just send me your information, and I'll go ahead and get them shirts out to you. Also, once again, show love to all the channels, all right? You could donate to my channel. You could donate to Boxing Ego, Miss Boxing Baby, Eric Morales. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this show because, like I said, it is a short show. And my man in the studio, as always, George. What's up, man?
Not too much.
How was your Christmas, man?
That's good. A little bit of a sore throat, but
yeah, it sounded like you was screaming and hollering, getting all wasted, huh? Yeah, I know how you get down, man. It's all good. Anyway, let me go ahead and introduce the panel, as always. I got my man, Boxing Ego. Check out his website, one of the fastest rising websites right now, boxingego.com. I got my girl, Miss Boxing Baby. I got Eric Morales. Check out his YouTube channel. He be laying it down on his channel, his Counterpunch. And I got the active fighter, the undefeated fighter, on the panel as well, my man Troy King. All right, welcome to the show, Troy King.
Ooh, that's all I had.
Troy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I could barely hear you. I don't know if that's us or if that's you. It's us. It's him? Okay, I could barely hear you, Troy. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm here, baby.
Okay. Hey, let's do a mic check. Everybody give a mic check. Boxing Eagle, everybody give a mic check real quick.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Why do they sound so far away?
Mic check.
Yeah. Boy, y'all sound like Houdini. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and get it in, y'all. So we about to give out the awards. We about to give out the real awards for the fighters that deserve it. It's going down right now on Dante's Boxing Nation. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's start with Fight of the Year. All right, now we had a whole lot of great fights. I mean, we had Fanfara versus Cleverly. We had Edwin Rodriguez versus Michael Seal. But I think the person who takes the cake, the best fight, the award that we're giving out, we're giving this to Vargas versus Marriaga. All right, so congratulations to Francisco Vargas and Marriaga from Japan. I believe he's from Japan.
Yeah, Francisco Vargas. I think his name is Muria. You were saying Mariaca like Nick.
Yeah. I did not know that name.
Yeah, that was the fight of the year, in my opinion. It was the type of fight you didn't know what was going to happen. They were both throwing with bad intentions the whole fight, and it looked like, I think the round before it got stopped, it looked like Francisco Vargas was about to get stopped.
Yeah.
It looked like he was done.
Yeah.
He had no energy.
Yeah.
You got to put that at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to let's go ahead and go to the next category. So
real quick, I did want to mention I did also get that one, but I thought that Huck versus what was it, Glowacki?
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. That was also excellent, but I also thought Francisco Vargas versus Miria took the cake. That was just a fantastic fight.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I thought about the Huck fight. It was so many of them, man. It was so many real good fights. It's really close. It's not like that's a category where the winner really separates himself from the other bunch. It's almost, that one is kind of close to being subjective. All right, so this category right here is going to be knockout of the year. There were a lot of candidates. You had Bradley versus Rios, which, I think just because of the shock value, nobody expected it to be a knockout. That can be a runner-up. But we're going to give this award to Danny Jacobs knocking out Peter Quillen in the first round because nobody expected him to get that knockout in the first round. And it was over an undefeated fighter. Now, also, we want to talk about the most improved fighter of the year. And I think this goes to hands down Badou Jack. I think this goes to Badou Jack. He beat two opponents that he was supposed to lose to. Like Boxing Ego was saying before, we got on air, made up a very good point. He fought, or Troy King was the one actually. Matter of fact, Troy King, talk about that. Was that you talking about that?
Yeah. I just wanted to shine some light on Badou Jack because he had a bad time with the one opponent that he was supposed to beat. He got knocked out. So then when he got some two tough fights, I didn't know. I thought Darrell was gonna beat him, but man, he came out and did his thing, man. 2 fights in a row against two contenders, man. Badou Jack is getting most improved or honorable mention or whatever, man. He's been doing his thing, bro. He's a world champion, man. And everybody always go in on the people in the Floyd Mayweather stable, but Badou Jack has he showed his ass, man. He doing his thing, bro. I'm fucking with Badou. I like that. I like the heart. I like how he went out there and just did what he had to do, man.
No doubt about it, because usually we write these cats off when they get knocked out, especially in the fashion that Badou got knocked out. He got knocked out in the very first round. And yeah, Troy, you don't see that too often. You don't see a guy come back out of nowhere and start to just beat top-level opposition. In a way, that kind of reminds me, maybe it's not that similar, but it kind of reminds me of Terry Norris when he got knocked out. The way he got knocked out against Julian Jackson, and then for him to come back and start winning titles and basically look dominant, like he had never been knocked out before. But then again, Julian Jackson was a way better opponent than Badou Jack got knocked out by, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to say about the Badou Jack thing, and I'm off of it, it's just that he was kind of like a boring fighter, and I didn't even know he had the dog in him, like to be a good body puncher, because he was just like a straight up boxer, like he would just box you. He had a good boxing pedigree, but then for like the Andre Darrell fight, man, he brought that dog out and got that inside work, and then same thing with the Groves fight, and that's why I would like to shine some light on Badou Jack, man. He showed wrinkles in his game that he's improved and gotten better.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And it'll be interesting to see who he goes up against next. I really hope he gets the Chavez fight. Just a big fight, more exposure for Badou Jack. And, of course, it looks like a very winnable fight for Badou Jack. So, that will definitely, help take his career to the next level. So let's go on to the next award, guys. So now I'm going to go. Now, this one right here is going to hurt some feelings right here. All right, I'm just letting y'all know right now. So go ahead and close your ears if you're very sensitive. Now, this right here is the most disappointing pay-per-view numbers for a star. All right, who do you guys think that's going to be?
Triple G and David Lemieux.
There it goes. And coincidentally, me and Ms. Boxing Baby, we didn't even talk about this. That was just straight freestyle right there. So, I have to give that award to Mr. Golovkin because that pay-per-view was expected to do at least 300,000 pay-per-views. He had a Apple commercial out. You know, they were saying this was the guy that was replacing Floyd Mayweather, and you know, the reports came out. First it was he did 150,000. Then later on the reports came out that he only did 97,000. Okay, and Team Golovkin, they never refuted those numbers. You know, so they never tried to say, no, that's false. We did this, we did that. So that's definitely the most disappointing pay-per-view numbers of the year. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go to upset of the year. Now, me personally, I thought this one was a little bit closer. We talked about this right here, but I think, you know, we're all in sync when it comes to this one right here. I thought Amir Imam versus Granados. I thought that one right there, you know, came very close to being the upset of the year, just because of the simple fact that this was supposed to be an easy fight for what's his name, Amir Imam, and he was supposed to be the mandatory, and he was supposed to beat this guy easy and go fight Victor Postal next, and that never happened because he got basically roadblocked by this man right here, Adrian Granados. So, but I'm not giving him the upset of the year. I'm going to have to give it to Tyson Fury versus Vladimir Klitschko because of the long reigning champion Vladimir Klitschko. He was a champion for so long, and it looked like he was going to probably retire with the belts and just basically hand them over. So we give it to Tyson Fury. Congratulations to you, Tyson Fury, and I look forward to seeing you step your game up next year and getting in the ring with that boy from over here, Deontay Wilder, which would be very, very interesting. You know, so that's what that is. Now, let's jump to the big one. Let's just jump to the big one, man. We're gonna jump all around. Now, you already know who the fighter of the year, the real fighter of the year is. You know, without all the bullshit, without all the emotions. Fighter of the year is clearly. You know, before I even mention his name, let me just say this, guys. This is the thing. When you win the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter if you win the Super Bowl by 2 points, by 3 points, by 7 points. If you win the Super Bowl, you are the Super Bowl champion. Okay? So you can't say so that there is no arguing that is the best football team in the league for that season, right? And we all know that the biggest fight of our era, of this generation, right? And it was the best fighter of this era versus the quote-unquote fighter of the decade, Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao. That was our Super Bowl. So you can't really, there's no way you could try to explain that someone else would get that, you know, Fighter of the Year award. It's impossible. You can't say, oh, because I didn't like the fight. Because once again, you can watch the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl could be boring as hell. And you can still, and yet again, that's still the best team of the year or of the season, right? So it applies in this situation. So boxing ego, man. Explain this to me. You had some people that were trying to give this award to Canelo Alvarez over Floyd Mayweather. I mean, and I want all you guys to chime in on this, but let's start with you, Ego. How does that make any sense, Ego? Ego, you there?
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
Say that last part again. There's a little bit of traffic. I'm walking in right now.
Okay. I was saying some of these websites, they basically said, or maybe one of them in particular, they said that Canelo gets Fighter of the Year, and I was saying, how is that possible to get Fighter of the Year over, like I said, Floyd Mayweather, who basically won the Super Bowl in the sport?
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, man. It's all politics. That's what it boils down to. They want to give it to the lesser of the evils. Canelo's more of the favorite fighter, and people like Canelo, so they're going to give it to him. But Floyd Mayweather wasn't 20 pounds, 30 pounds bigger than Pacquiao when they fought. People told me on my channel, just to co-sign what you said, the importance of this fight, they told me I had to cut down my chin if my prediction in picking Floyd Mayweather was wrong.
You're not down on the vote.
They said, hello?
No, go ahead. We had some interference. Go ahead. Pass interference. Don't worry about it.
Sorry about that.
People were telling me that I needed to shut down my boxing channel on YouTube if my pick was wrong, right?
Mhm.
So that just, I mean, it tells you the stakes were high in the Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight, period.
Yeah.
Mayweather went out there after 5 years of debate, and he ended the debate. And I have it in one of my videos. I have a screenshot somewhere. I think it was 73 people, 73% of the people that voted picked Pacquiao to win. Go look at the comments. People were saying Pacquiao was going to knock him out. Floyd ain't fought nobody with the speed and the southpaw awkwardness and foot speed. He stayed
effective aggressiveness. They said effective aggressiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, he went out there and did that. So you got to give him Fighter of the Year because he put the arguments to rest for 5 years.
Yeah, and matter of fact, Eric Morales. I mean, what do you think, man? Do you agree? Do you disagree that Floyd Mayweather would seem to be the real Fighter of the Year after his win over Pacquiao? What's your take?
I think it's hard to argue. I mean, when your only rival in revenue is the Star Wars franchise, that shows you that you're pretty damn big guy. So it's really hard to argue Mayweather's pick. Now, me personally, I do want to say I love the heavyweight division. I think Tyson Fury deserves some praise. I wouldn't say he's a tie, but I would put him in a close second.
No doubt.
I would say Roman Gonzalez here. Roman Gonzalez, how he was able to pick up and get his namesake out there was very impressive this year. So, but without a doubt, Mayweather had to. The money he brought in, the noise he made, the fight, everything that happened this year, it was unbelievable. My hat's off to him.
I totally agree with you on Tyson Fury as a very close runner-up. I totally disagree with you when it comes to Roman Gonzalez because he didn't fight anyone.
Only a namesake. Only a namesake. When you look at his year was unbelievable, and his name just blew up out of nowhere. Me personally, I still think Juan Francisco Estrada will beat him in the rematch, but that's just me. But only a namesake while I say he had a great year.
Yeah, I mean, staying unbeaten for anyone is definitely a great year. But I'm just saying, when you have Tyson Fury beating a heavyweight champion that's been unbeaten for 10 years and almost looked unbeatable, and you got, like I said, Floyd Mayweather, beating, the quote-unquote fighter of the decade who was considered pound for pound from number 2 to number 5. And like Boxing Ego said, fans actually made Floyd the underdog in this fight. A lot of people don't pay attention to that. And once again, this is why when you think with nothing but emotion, you end up making yourself look stupid at the end of the day. Because when you guys voted that Manny Pacquiao was going to win that fight, you actually made Manny Pacquiao the favorite. You can't then turn around and say, oh, you know what, Pacquiao was old and he was this and he was that, when we already know he's younger than Floyd Mayweather, and on top of it, you picked him to win the fight. You know what I mean? So you can't backpedal once you don't get what you want. So that's pretty much what that is. Now, Miss Boxing Baby, I mean, what do you think about the fact that, like I said, you had some people? How does it make sense for anyone to pick anyone outside of Floyd Mayweather when it comes to Fighter of the Year?
Let me apologize first for the noise in the background. I'm at the fights in PA, and the guy just landed like a good punch, so I'm sorry about that. But,
no,
that's all people's hate and emotions. Anybody with a brain, when they even made that fight, before they made the fight, knew that Pacquiao had no chance of beating him. Look at the style. So, I mean, right there, to me, that fight alone made him fighter of the year. He beat a man that for years people say he was scared of, that he was going to knock him out, and he demolished him. He beat him easy. To me, one of his easiest fights.
Mm-hmm.
So, hats off to him for that. He definitely deserves it. And to me, I think a close runner-up would be Terrence Crawford, because the 2 opponents that he had this year, 2 or 3 he had this year, he beat them flawlessly.
Yeah.
So he's my runner-up.
Yeah.
Of the year.
I think, if we're, I disagree, too, with the Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, because if we're talking about runner-up, I would say Danny Jacobs. He took the Latin Snake, who was a difficult style. Shane Mosley had a draw with him, and he stopped him. Yeah, it was an injury, but he still stopped him, and you could tell he had him hurt in the first round. Then, on top of that, he beat an undefeated Kid Chocolate in the first round. So he has 2 stoppage wins that he was probably expected to lose. Definitely the one with Quillen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would still put Tyson Fury over those 2, but very, very good choices, and it's hard not to not praise Danny Jacobs or even the other man, Boxing Baby mentioned. So definitely.
Well, I have to agree with you on that, Eric. I have to agree with you on just the Tyson Fury part. I totally agree. I think that's the closest thing to Floyd, me personally. So let's go ahead and move on. Now, this should be interesting, this next award. I'm going to go ahead and give a drum roll for this one right here. So the next award is going to be Trainer of the Year. Trainer of the Year award. Now, before I give this award out, I want to go ahead and talk about Angelo Dundee and Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, you guys know that, it's historic, hearing this phrase. Sugar Ray Leonard, he's in the corner with, fighting against Tommy Hearns. One of his eyes are closed shut. And what does Angelo Dundee say when the tides are turning and Sugar Ray Leonard is starting to lose the fight? What does Angelo Dundee say, guys? You're blowing it. You're blowing it, kid. He's literally telling him, you about to lose. You better get it together or you're about to lose this fight, right? Now, see, a lot of people, they never really look at this parallel. But who just said something very similar to what Angelo Dundee said in a fight that we seen this year? You know who it was? It was Floyd Mayweather Sr. After the fourth round, Floyd Mayweather had got staggered. And, I don't remember if it was after the fourth round or if it was after the seventh, because I know there was 2 rounds that Manny Pacquiao did really good in. And matter of fact, I believe Mayweather, he said this a couple times, Senior did. He said after Floyd Mayweather lost the round, he said, look, man, you messing this up. They going to mess around and give this, you're going to give this away. They going to give it to him if you don't step your game up. And after Floyd Mayweather heard his father say that, he came out after he lost the 4th round and he won the 5th round easy. And like I said, once again, I think around the 7th or the 8th round, Mayweather Sr. said the same thing. He said, man, you fighting scared. You doing this, you doing that. You going to lose this fight. He tells him that. Floyd Mayweather comes out the very next round. He wins the round decisively. To me, and I'm not even going to say to me, that is the mark of a good trainer. Someone who can pull you out of a tough situation, right? When you're dealing with adversity, when things are not going your way, you have a trainer that pulls you out of that situation. And so that's the reason why I say the Trainer of the Year is hands down Floyd Mayweather Sr. I've heard, one site had actually said, and this guy's a good trainer, and we're going to talk about this together. This guy's a good trainer, no doubt about it. But some guy said that Abel Sanchez was the Trainer of the Year. And that makes no sense to me because, Golovkin was, first of all, he wasn't in there with any type of resistance. He wasn't in there where he had to adjust and he had to really sit down and listen to his trainer, to where his trainer had to really yell at him and really hype him up. He wasn't in a situation like that. So no doubt about it, Floyd Mayweather Sr. is Trainer of the Year. Not only that, but Floyd Mayweather is one of the only fighters that has trained his fighter from the ground up. A lot of these trainers today, they get these fighters after they have already been established. They've already been, multiple champions or already had like 20, 30 professional fights, but it's what you do with a fighter from the ground up because you taught that kid pretty much everything, So, Troy King, what do you think about that when it comes to Trainer of the Year?
He's not available right now.
Okay, no problem. No problem. We got a lot of people on the panel anyway. Let's start. Let's go with you, Eric. Runner-up suggestions. You agree? You disagree with that? What's your take on that?
No, with that particular fight and that one fight alone, and considering it was the biggest fight of all time, I think it's enough to carry him to that title. I'm not going to argue that. My own personal pick, I'm going to go with my own Port Arthur. Well, I'm not from Port Arthur, but Ronnie Shields out of Houston. I think what he did with this series of fighters with both the Charlo brothers, what he did with Lara, bringing him back to prominence with the last fight against Zavek, how he got Arthur Spilka coming up with Deontay Wilder. I think he's making noise again, and he's my pick. I might be a little biased, but that's who I'm going to choose. If not, I think Fury is a notable honorary mention simply for the work that Tyson Fury did. in the historic heavyweight showdown.
Yeah, and like you said, you can't really argue with what I said. I mean, when it comes to, and I agree with what you said at the beginning.
In talking to Mayweather, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and once again, that's what Angelo Dundee is known by. You know what I mean? Because it's when things are on cruise control and there's no problems, there's no rough terrain or anything like that. It's smooth selling. You don't have to rely on your trainer, right? Like I said, once again, when you hear your trainer tell you the truth, and he says, "Look, man, if you don't step it up, you're going to lose." That to me, that's the mark of a great trainer. Boxing ego, man. So, I mean, what do you think about that when it comes to Trainer of the Year?
I like the pick of Floyd Sr. I think because Floyd Sr. people don't put it in perspective, but like cultivating a fighter from birth to from a young age all the way into a world champion, that's completely different. Like when Freddie Roach, and there's no disrespect to Freddie Roach, he clearly can't be the Trainer of the Year because Zhao Shiming lost, Cotto lost, and Pacquiao lost.
Yeah.
So,
don't tell the media that. They don't want to hear that.
Yeah, but when Freddie Roach got Pacquiao was already good. He helped him with some things, improve his right hand a little bit or whatever. But to take a guy from a young age like Virgil Hunter did, Floyd Sr., and be a father figure or a father, and then raise him to a world champion, that's something special. My runner-ups would be Teddy Atlas. I like the whole fireman speech. I really didn't know how Bradley would look in one fight. And Teddy Atlas had some great corner advice. And then also, notable mention, too, is John David Jackson. I liked his work with Kovalev and Chris Algieri. Yeah,
I agree.
I can't hear you guys.
Hey, you guys, do me a favor. Put it on mute if you're not talking so we don't get drowned out with the background noise. Okay, so...
Yeah, I was just going to say Teddy Atlas, just because of fireman's speech, and I really didn't know how Bradley would look because he got banged up in the 12th round versus Vargas, and then he came back looking real sharp, stopped Brandon Rios, a tough guy, never been stopped. And then John David Jackson, his work with the undefeated Kovalev, he beat Pascal, Kovalev beat Pascal, and then I really liked how Chris Algieri, because Chris Algieri was coming off the Pacquiao destruction. He got knocked down 6 times, lost pretty much every round. He came back very strong in the Amir Khan fight under the helm of David Jackson. And he made it a tough fight for Amir Khan, and I don't even think Amir Khan expected that. So Floyd Sr., Teddy Atlas, John David Jackson, for me, those are the guys in that order.
Absolutely. And I want to go ahead. We got 5 minutes left. I'll just throw this one out real quick. I'm giving out the Hard Work Dedication Award. This award is because I done watched this man work. I done watched him work with his father, and you guys seen him on the documentaries that I did. My own little All Access. It's got to go to Sean Porter, man. This man works harder than almost anyone. Of course not. He works just as hard as Floyd Mayweather, put it that way. Okay, so congratulations to Sean Porter when it comes to that award. Okay, we down to 3 minutes. Let's go to businessman/promoter of the year. Now, I don't think that there's really any dispute of who the hardest working promoter/businessman is. This man has put on more undefeated fighters fighting against each other on a card. He done put more competitive fights on free television, right? Matter of fact, like I was just telling you guys on one of my videos, Jim Lampley just recently said that Oscar De La Hoya is going to come on his show, and he said they're going to talk about the comeback of Golden Boy. So, that lets you know that's almost a self-admission that they believe that they're not right now where they want to be. And so I believe hands down the businessman/promoter of the year is Al Heyman. There's no doubt about it. I don't even think that it's close. There's been just way too many fights. For some people,
you're trying to get him sued, Dante.
You're trying to get him
advisor.
He ain't no promoter, but he's just that great.
That's why I said business.
Technically, he's the advisor of the year, so
and the manager, but he's just that great. He's a promoter for the way he has these shows going.
And that's why I use businessman of the year as well, because if you really think about it, promoters, advisors, managers, those are basically all businessmen. So that's why I tried to.
I got a quick question too. Why is everyone so harsh on PBC in its first year? That just came out January. I think it was January 23rd or something. It was announced. They had that big press thing with Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Guerrero, and all of them. Why is everyone so critical on that? Like, give it time to develop. And they put on a lot of fights. I remember one time it was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, it's like a Monday, weird days. So shout out to Heyman, advisor.
I had to say we know why. Well, I'm sorry, I know why. Pretty sure y'all know why too. They so hard on this man. I don't have to say it.
No, we all know why. Just some people would like to ignore it. Yeah.
Come on, and there's really no talking bad about PBC because just look at the numbers. It debuted with March 7th. Look at the numbers.
Yeah, and not only that, but
I also real quick. I also agree with y'all. I think Al Heyman, our one advisor, businessman of the year. I did think he did a very good job. Something boxing hasn't seen in years. However, I think Eddie Hearn out there did a real good job with Matchroom Sports. I think he did a real good job.
I agree.
And also, I like to honorary Waddle and Reed. Also excellent.
No, I agree. I agree with that. And let me just say this too real quick. We got like 1 minute. But when people talk about the mismatches, first of all, going back to what Moose just said, we already know what time it is. But it's funny because when you talk about mismatches, it really doesn't make sense because first of all, when you think of Top Rank or you think of Oscar De La Hoya, you're automatically going to think about that 1 or 2 big fights they had in a year. And you're going to completely ignore all the mismatches that they also had. Right, so the same thing you could say about Al Heyman, because when it comes to Bob Arum or when it comes to Oscar De La Hoya, we got to see Cotto versus Canelo. But then when you look at all the mismatches, there were a lot of mismatches, but you're only really looking at the biggest fights that they had. I could give a list all day right now, all the big fights that PBC put together, and a lot of their big fights was on free TV and better than a lot of the cards that were actually on HBO or Showtime. So we are running out of... Go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, and another thing, a lot of the perceived mismatches turned out to be competitive. And Mr. Collins versus Chris Algieri. Keith Thurman got hurt by Luis Collazo.
Aaron Martinez versus Devon Alexander.
Yeah.
Only Triple G is okay to have mismatches. Nobody else.
Yeah. Of course.
He's the only one that's used with mismatches.
Also, prospect of the year, I'm giving it to Eric Lubin. Okay, runner up, I think Tank Davis. I would let you guys chime in on this. We'll probably talk more about it next year, but or next show. I'm going too fast. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this, guys. That's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. As always, we'll see you guys next week. On to the next one.